Hey, this is Maryland's Juice, aka David Moon here, with a live update on our historic straw poll for the Maryland Senate President. For those of you who are just tuning in to the experiment for the first time, basically what I'm doing is I'm trying to straw poll all of the Maryland state senators, both Democratic and Republican, in order to determine if there is any interest in a change in leadership in the Maryland State Senate. This time last year, I think 16 Democratic senators signed on to a letter asking Senate President Mike Miller to establish rules for how the Senate would elect a new president, because people are figuring he's not going to stick around forever. So he got upset about this apparently, and so a lot of people are scared to raise the subject again. So I figured what I would do is I would give state senators in Maryland a way to anonymously voice their opinions on a range of subjects. So to catch you up, here we go. This is the Maryland Juice straw poll. This is a Democratic ballot. There's going to be one ballot for Republicans and one for Democrats. Now remember, the only reason I'm making this video is so that the state senators who receive a ballot will be able to verify with their own eyes that every ballot is exactly the same, that they appear to be untampered with, and I'm going to provide a little bit of instruction as to how to fill these out and return them to me. So here you go. Here's the ballot. First of all, it says please return by Friday, February 24th. That's just a guideline. I'm really late sending these out, sorry about that, but backstabber Sam Aurora and marriage equality ended up occupying my mind quite a bit the last week, so here I am back to Mike Miller. It's good timing because the Maryland State Senate is right about to take up marriage equality this week. So once again, try and return these by Friday, February 24th. If you're a few days late, that's fine, just get them in. Question number 1. So this is a pretty straightforward question. I'm just asking you to mark an X next to one of 3 options. It is definitely time for a new Senate President. I would maybe consider a Senate President other than Mike Miller, or I will always vote for Mike Miller for Senate President. Question 2. Please mark an X next to only one of the options below. And this is a question about whether A, you think all Senate caucus leadership positions should be elected. And by leadership positions, I mean majority leader, whip, and positions like that. Option B, you think the Senate President should select all caucus leadership positions. Moving on, question number 3. Once again, we're going to ask you to mark an X next to only one oval. And the question is whether you think the standing committee chairs and vice chairs should be elected, or whether you think the Senate President should pick all of these standing committee chairs and vice chairs. Question 4, also mark an X next to the circle, is whether you think there should be term limits for the Senate President, or whether you think the Senate President should be able to serve infinitely, forever. Last question. Now this is a break in the rules. Question 5. Which of the following incentives or factors might help you decide between candidates for Senate President? Select as many options as you wish or none. Now, if you're thinking about Senate President, maybe you're torn between 2 candidates, think about whether one of these factors would tip you one way or the other. And that's whether a candidate offers you a caucus leadership position, whether they offer you a committee chair or a vice chair position, whether they offer to help get your legislation a hearing or a vote, or it could be other things, like whether they pledge to hold leadership elections, which Senate President Mike Miller does not pledge to do. Or it could be something like their personal relationship with you, or their character, things you know about them, and maybe take issue with. Or lastly, whether you're from the same county, district, or area. Maybe some people care about geographic unity. So that's page 1 of the 2-part Democratic ballot. Page 2. Here you are going to rank the candidates in order of preference. I've listed every Democratic state senator's name here, and there's a blank line next to them. So what you're asked to do is put a 1 next to your first choice, put a 2 next to your second choice, put a 3 next to your third choice. You get the idea. You can rank as many people or as few people as you wish. You can rank 1 person, you could rank 10. We don't care. You could rank 30 people. Do whatever you want. There's only one rule. Do not give the same ranking to more than 1 person. Meaning, do not put 2 first choices. You can only have 1 first choice. You can only have 1 second choice. You get the idea? It's pretty simple. So that's it. Once you get this ballot in the mail, it's actually going to arrive in a ballot package that looks like this. It'll be stuffed with your ballot, fold it up, and there's going to be an enclosed return envelope. Now, look, I've put a leftover invitation that I had personally screen printed. I'm not actually inviting you to anything, but what this little yellow ticket is, it's a ticket to the voting booth. Essentially, if I get a ballot returned to me that's filled out and does not have one of these yellow cards in the envelope, I'm not going to trust that it's real. So don't do anything with this, don't mark it, just leave it in there and take your folded up ballot, put it in the return envelope with that little yellow card in there, and just mail it, whatever, you get the idea. Mail it back, and mail it from Annapolis so that we have no way of knowing who sent which ballot back. Republicans, the process is exactly the same, except you have a much shorter 1-page ballot. Again, please try and return this by Friday, February 24th. Using the return envelope, I dipped into my own pocket to pay for the stamps to mail these to you guys and to get them back to me, so I hope you appreciate that. Once again, please mail the ballots from Annapolis to assure anonymity. Question 1. Please mark an X next to one of the following options, in the oval of course. I would definitely vote for a Democrat to help defeat Mike Miller. Other choice, I would maybe consider voting for a Democrat to defeat Mike Miller. Third choice, I would never vote for a Democrat for Senate President. Question 2. This is again about if you're on the fence between candidates, what might help you make a decision. Check as many of these as you want or as few of them as you want. First option rather, is whether the candidate offers to get your bill a hearing or a floor vote, whether you're offered a committee vice chair, again, personal relationships and character, or whether you're from the same county, district, or area. And then the rest of the ballot's exactly the same as the Democratic ballot. It asks you to simply rank your candidates in order of preference. Once again, you can rank as few or as many candidates as you like, but no matter what you do, don't give the same candidate or don't give the same ranking to more than 1 candidate. You can't have 2 first choices, you can only have 1. So that's it. Once again, the Republican package is going to arrive with a folded up ballot. It's going to come with a return envelope. Now the Republicans are going to have a blue thank you card in there. It's completely blank on the inside. They're just what I had sitting around. This is your ticket to vote. Do not remove this, don't touch it, just leave it in there and stick your ballot in the mail with that blue thank you card still in there. Once again, just so that I know this ballot is real and it's one of the ones that I sent. That's it. www.marylandjuice.com will post the results at some point. And if you have any questions, you could submit them anonymously to me at marylandjuice.com. Oh, one last thing, because I did want to do this. Just so that you know, there's nothing funny going on with these ballots. Like, these are the Republican ballots. This is literally just, copy paper from Staples and laser print. It's exactly the ballot I have online at marylandjuice.com. You've seen it. It's PDF'd up there. These mailing labels, look, there's nothing special there. There's no way of tracking. These are just regular, again, Staples brand Avery 8160s. Those of you who've done mailing lines are familiar with the Avery 8160 size. The stamps, again, it's just simple roll stamps. I'll put, the flags on the outside envelope and the Statue of Liberty on the inside envelope, probably. So No funny tricks here. Envelopes. These are, again, all identical. Number 10 and number 9 envelopes. I believe they're also from Staples. It's not a product endorsement. That's just there for information. So once again, MarylandJuice.com. Stay tuned for the results, and please, senators, take part in this new experiment in online democracy. Thanks.